You can go, hey guys, it's your mayor. Kami Mamdani. Since we're communists and we don't have electricity for everyone, except for ourselves, we would really appreciate it if you can go ahead and set your AC to a special mode called off mode. Also, it would be great if you could also stop eating, because we don't have food for everyone. So if you're fat, please eat once every other day. If you're kind of fat, you can eat once a day. And if you're skinny, you're probably white, so you don't get to eat anything. If you have any pets, please bring them into City Hall so we can feed our Haitian immigrants. Well, I'm off to enjoy Taylor Swift's wedding, so later, comrades.
How would I destroy America if I was America's enemy? War. We can't fight these Americans kinetically, traditionally. So then I back up and say, but how could I fight them? So now I want to come at them many ways. I want to weaken this enemy. I might weaken them with technology transfer, stealing their technology and using it against them. I might use narcotics warfare. And of course, this is all hypothetical, right? I might flood the nation with really bad addictive substances that overwhelm the public health system. It's all sounding familiar? I might even get into some resources warfare where I plunder the natural resources of all these other countries so no one else can have them, so that by 2025, everything has to go through me. I am the supply chain center. I might go further and get into, why not, a little economic aid warfare. Ones that don't like America,
这中国你看，中国经济、全球经济，中国现在一枝独秀，中国超过美国时间提前了，2027年没有问题。美国活不成了，美国活不成。我现在再讲一下，就是在座所有的人，我们不是你们14亿中国人几乎都认识不到这一点，不是中国在整，不是美国在整中国。
think now very important turn, very important shift, paradigms shift in the global balance of powers. So not only Ukraine now is ruined, but Europe itself is ruined. And I think that is the last call to rebel, to revolt, to make a riot. So I think that in order to reaffirm the European culture, European identity, European sovereignty, you need the people of Europe, you need a riot against your illegitimate powers. So you need to start the civil war in Europe. Well, either you destroy them or you will be all destroyed. So that is the dilemma of the European society. Either you start civil war against your leaders, illegitimate liberal leaders, or you are done. So the same for United States of America. So if you are part of humanity, let's start rebellion. If you are the part of the global elite, prepare yourself to die. So the only way to European societies to save themselves is to start immediately civil war in Europe and trying to unite the powers of different national states, the cultures, the peoples of different European states, concentrate them in this revolutionary effort. So if you manage to start the anti-liberal, anti-globalist, anti-Western revolution in order to liberate yourself from NATO, from this dominance of the globalist hegemony, you have the chance to become the seventh member of enlarged BRIC and to go and to transgress hegemonic situation in order to reaffirm and rebuild independent and sovereign Europe. Multipolarity in European space means a war, a civil war against a ruling.
Do you see this as a shift towards a more multipolar world?
We are in a multipolar world. That exists. But the United States doesn't accept that. So the United States has been all bluster and bravado and bombs. Bluster, bravado, and bombs. That's pretty much it. We're going to, yes, we're in a multipolar world, and countries should understand that and behave that way.
onto a fire they lit in the street. This morning, cleanup in the Pearl. The dental office is owned by
an inferno.
that was the only way that I could avoid
Идти и стать.
Secretary of State today, no new drop boxes.
I'll wait here. How Maduro there went horribly wrong.
What about down at the broad mass level?
Attack on the subway.
This is terrible. This is not the city I know.
Detectives say a 31-year-old was stabbed in the arm and back.
They're on Iran as talks have, of course, stalled there.
Yeah,
is the ideology of the
In similar fashion, nations have created international law.
You can hold the world to ransom. We're now in a kind of utterly perverse place where.
Конечно, находимся в самой настоящей войне.
If the mail is slow in getting people their ballots, or in case people are worried it'll be too slow for sending back their ballots.
And these shadows, they're cast by watchtowers along the way. This compound.
Political power, the military power.
Думков, ты еще увидишь, как из-за твоей продажной глупости, Анна-Лена Бербок, Берлин будет гореть.
Надо как-то сделать так, чтобы американские солдаты начали гибнуть.
Да мы сотрем в порошок Варшаву и Вильнюс.
Почему мы признаем Францию ее границу?
Как я хочу посмотреть, чтобы Урсулиха фон дер Ляля корчилась куском беспилотника в глотке.
Когда на сегодняшний день мы говорим, что война будет безъядерной, мы, наверное, лукавим.
По количеству на душу населения, правда, Канада ее опережает, но Америка — это мировая держава по дебилу.
Я сейчас требую спалить Берлин.
I hope you guys realize now you won't. None of you will have it. None of you will have it. It will burn to the ground.
So that's a personal level delusion. It's an institutional failure. And the backdrop is a failure of the United States to recognize a multipolar world. That's the fundamental failure.
The West must be eradicated. The Western liberal globalist elite must be completely wiped off the face of the earth, or it will wipe out humanity. Once this problem is resolved, we can move on to other issues.
It will burn to the ground.
Well, welcome to Investigate Everything. Sometimes I make a video that I like so much I'm a bit terrified it just upstaged me. Welcome. Thanks for hanging in with me tonight. I am totally jet lagged. Just got back from Israel from a 10-day trip. Went all around the place. And I made that video last week just trying to make a placeholder so you guys aren't constantly just staring at a screen waiting for me if you are waiting for me. But watching it tonight, it really, especially, in the context of what's happened all around the world in the last 4, 5, 6 days, it really does show by consolidating all these key events that have happened since 2020, 2021, right up to the present day. In that video, it really does show you that the Western world is under attack, and it seems to be accelerating. Let's get right into it. So thanks again for all of you that have stayed up late with me tonight. I'm going to go as long as I can tonight. If I start not making sense, I'm sure you'll let me know, and we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to do a Q&A, myself and my wife, Naomi Wolf, on our show In the Lair. And we will announce that tomorrow. She made it clear tonight that she wouldn't do that show unless I did this show tonight. So taking one for the team, but you guys are worth it. So I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so we're going to talk about my Israel trip. And I've been to Israel before, mainly for training exercises. In certain parts of the country, but I've never been there as a tourist. I was invited on that trip recently as a +1, and my wife was supposed to go is for a Health Freedom Summit put on by these guys here. The Combat Anti-Semitism Movement. So they brought a bunch of health freedom type influencers. Robert Malone was there. Dr. Robert Malone was there and his wife. Dr. Ryan Cole, a very dear friend of mine, and several other people to really see what Israel has going on in terms of health and advancements in health, but also to get a feel for the country. And so Naomi unfortunately couldn't go. She had a surgery and she had not been cleared yet by the doctors to go. She's fine. But I went alone at their invite. Normally the plus one gets kicked out, but they wanted me to go. So I appreciate that. Want to give a special thanks to Karis Rhea, who put this whole thing together. She did a great job. Okay, so we get there. I get there a day early and decide to explore the city. Is it damage done by Iran? Going to get to your comments in a second, but I just saw one pop up that I need to address. We will in a second. Thank you, Bill K122. Go ahead and give me a couple keywords to search up, and I'll try to answer your question because I need more context so I can address that. So we got there, and again, look, I've always been a big supporter of Israel. I've always been a big supporter of the IDF. We've worked with them for a long time. I used to be in 5th Special Forces, and that's the Special Forces group that deals with Middle East and North Africa, or MENA. And so it was nothing new to me. You don't have to sell me on Israel. I love them. I think they're great. America first, of course, but they are our ally, and they're our strongest ally in the region and most dependable ally. But it really put things in perspective, this trip. It wasn't just a tour of Jerusalem and the old city and Tel Aviv and, people in bikinis and everything, which they have a lot of. But it was a real deep tour into the West Bank and down to the kibbutz near Oz. That was the kibbutz that got ravaged by those animals in Hamas on October 7th, 2023. And we went to the Nova Music Site Fest, which is just so impactful. I can't even describe it unless you go there. And I do have plenty of footage of that. But one thing I got from the whole trip, and I'll come to this more as the week goes on because we have a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on in the West Bank. There's a lot going on with Israel that a lot of people don't realize. Stuff that I was aware of, but I really wanted to go on that trip to confirm it. And but seeing a country that is extremely patriotic as well as divided, and meaning they have their lefties, they have their people in the left-wing government that I would say subscribe to what Godsad calls suicidal empathy, wanting to give Hamas even more rights. It's unbelievable. And so what I really took away from that, and I knew what was going on, but I really didn't see it until I saw it there, is that, like America, they have their kind of Democrat type people who are clueless, who are saying, give them more stuff. Let's give them, let's hug them and maybe they won't bomb us. But one thing that they have over there that was really impressive, and it's grown since I've been there. I haven't been there since like 2010, maybe, is their sense of nationalism and their sense of really just their unity with each other despite their partisan views when it comes to bombs coming in, when it comes to attacks. They're all carrying guns. They're all ready to fight, and then they'll, argue with each other later. And it was really impressive. And I really got a sense of where the religion ties into this, because just like here, there's a lot of people in Israel who are secular. There's fringe Orthodox elements. You may have seen them spitting on people. They do exist. They're very small minority, but they're a pain in the ass, just like our fringe people on the right. I would compare them most to like the flat earthers, isolationists who do things that even annoy MAGA, but we can't, they've got their rights. We got to kind of sit there and let them do it. But what I was most impressed with was when it comes to Israel, for even the liberals, it's Israel first. Okay, it's Israel first. And it's America as a close second, which was really, really flattering and heartwarming for me. So I spent a total of 10 days there, 2 on my own, meeting with some friends on the last day after everyone left, former IDF people. And then the first day I spent, kind of exploring the city with a couple other new, recent arrivals and exploring Jerusalem. But there's a lot of myths that we have to bust, and we're not going to bust them tonight because I'm just too damn tired and jet lagged. But there's so many myths that, look, most people in my audience know are BS, but now we have some good footage. Okay. One of those myths is that, or not even a myth, but a misconception. You'll hear it on X a lot or other social media, even on Blue Sky, where people are like, Israel this and Israel did this and the Jews did this. Well, the thing is, some Jews might do some things. Some Israelis might do some things. Some Zionists might do some things. Not everyone in Israel is a Zionist. Again, they are as, I don't know what the word is, diverse in their views as we are towards their own country. But again, the most impressive thing was the sheer unity when it comes to protecting their country. Now, granted, it's a lot more acute of a threat. They're a small country. They're a young country. They've got Gaza, which is 37 miles away from Tel Aviv. They've got the West Bank, or as the Israelis call it, Judea and Samaria, which I agree with. West Bank was a term imposed on them by European powers. West Bank being probably a bigger threat right now than Gaza to Israel. And so what was my takeaway? My takeaway was we need that kind of unity in this country. Okay, we need it across the aisle too, not just with MAGA and America First. We're doing great. We're ready to fight for this country, and we have, and we will. But we need Americans to find something to tie them to America ideologically. And we don't have that right now. We had that with the Constitution. We had that with traditional American values, and we're losing that right now. I'd say, I don't know the stats, but again, people in this audience, they have those values for the most part, I'm guessing. But what I saw over there was every meal is an event. Okay, whether you're in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, some tiny little town down south near Gaza, every meal's an event. Everyone gets together. Everyone's outside. Everyone's working out all the time. But what ties them together, where their religion comes in, is Judaism, being a Jew. Okay, and not all of them even believe it, but they still go to the wall. They still wear the kippahs or the yarmulkes. They still attend Shabbat on Friday nights. And they really have no choice because it's institutionalized. When you go to Israel, if you've never been there, Shabbat, everything shuts down. Not really shuts down, but I'll put it this way. When I go back again, which will be soon, I won't make the mistake of booking to land on Shabbat. It's the wrong time to travel because when you get in late and you're hungry and you need a couple items so you don't starve to death, it's hard to get. Shabbat settings on the elevators in Israel are everywhere. That means the elevator stops at every floor automatically because during Shabbat, Jews can't work. So that means they can't press buttons, open elevators, that sort of thing, technically, unless it's to save a life. So the point of saying that is it's just the religion creates an anchor to the country. It's the best way to put it. Now, that's not the point of the religion, but the way it meshes with the modern state of Israel kind of keeps everyone kind of anchored to a tradition, and that tradition is nationalism and sovereignty and, us against the world, which it seems to be the case. Now, a couple myths, let's get through them. But first, let me, so Bill K said, did you see the damage done by Iran? Now, Bill, if you're referring to in Israel, absolutely not. I didn't see any damage done by Iran. As a matter of fact, when I left on the 23rd, there were these high alerts and everything. No one seemed to care when I landed there. Now, what I did notice was when I got there were a ton of American planes at the Tel Aviv airport. And, a lot of people were complaining, like, it's hurting tourism because we're taking up space. But again, the people complaining were mainly Americans going there, for vacation or to see family and everything like that. The Israelis themselves were certainly not complaining. But no, I didn't see any damage at all. As a matter of fact, I'll just call up my little folder full of stuff and you can see it yourself. So anyways, if that's what you're talking about, Bill, no, I did not see anything. So that's one of the big things I got out of it. The other myth that I think really needs to be addressed is, and this I've known for a long time because I've been fighting. My whole military career was during the War on Terror, and before that, the people they're fighting are not sophisticated people, okay? At least in Gaza, they're not. The people the Israelis are fighting, think of like the bad neighborhood down the street full of kind of lots of drugs and lots of crime, and with really no belief system, but just willing to do stupid things and destructive and murderous things because they're hyped up on drugs or they're just lowlifes. And I've always said that about terrorists, whether it's terrorists in the Gaza region, whether it's terrorists in the Philippines, which I spent a lot of time there fighting the Abu Sayyaf group. Even those people knew nothing about the Quran. Most of them are between 16 and 30 years old, and most of them are strung out, just jacked up on drugs and then just strung out. So imagine that neighborhood in America. Okay, let's say, I don't want to pick on any particular group, but I grew up in Maine. There were a lot of kind of low life, neighborhoods down the street. Okay, the neighborhoods you didn't go in. And they basically, imagine those people, call them trash, if you will, and giving them AK-47s and kind of not authorizing, but justifying to them on a mass scale that it's okay to go kill and hurt those people. And that's what we saw. We especially saw it in the Nova Music Festival area, which was really horrific to see and really something. I mean, I've seen mass graves before. That's terrible. It's beyond terrible, but I guess that was more, I was part of those investigations, so it didn't really hit me, the human kind of impact. But when you see the Nova Festival and you see the faces and the family pictures put up and the signs they put up of these kind of photo albums of all the victims, and they put the signs up where the people's bodies were found. And it just, you can't believe it. I mean, these people were hunted down like dogs. So there's that. And then, some of the other problems are, that they have over there. Oh yeah. So, talking about the murderers and all that. And the thing is, the Arab Israelis, Arabs who decided to become Israeli citizens, they just want to work, and they're doing quite well, actually. They're doing as well as most Israelis. You can't really tell the difference unless you speak Arabic. I speak a rusty Arabic, so that was helpful. But they look at Hamas and they're like, get them the hell out of here. Like, they just want to work. And the best work is with the Israelis. And it's not because the Israelis have all this American money pouring in. I would counter with the fact that Hamas and Hezbollah have had more international money than all of Israel has ever had, just dumped on their laps. But they squander it, and they don't take care of their people. So another thing I got out of the trip was the Israelis don't really dwell on things. For instance, their economy is still moving forward. Their advancements in technology are still moving forward, despite the fact that everyone's kind of like on alert. Everyone is in the reserves. Everyone carries a gun to the hotel buffet. Really nice tricked out, assault rifles. And it's just part of life there. Every concourse at the Tel Aviv airport has a bomb shelter. It's just part of their life, but they still go to work and they still get things done. And that's what I really have always appreciated about the Israelis is they get things done. Okay. So you've seen this week a lot of anti-Israeli sentiment, even more so than usual, about how, like, okay, there we go. Sorry. I'm in Mondami's, New York, so I guess they're rationing the internet. I had to reconnect. So, where was I? Yeah, so anyways, but you see, like, it's just like, oh yeah, so this week we saw what happened with the part of Spain that is on the, part of mainland Morocco. I mean, part of that. We saw this intentional mass illegal immigration, which, in my opinion, was orchestrated by their own government. And that was down at Ceuta, I think you pronounce it that way, which is on the Morocco mainland. But it's just this horrific scenes of 40 to 50,000 Moroccans pouring over their border, into Spanish territory, which is that tip of Morocco. And, we see that happening. And then, of course, it took like an hour for some dumbass. There's this guy, Liberty Lockdown. He seems really dumb to me. I've met him before, and I hate calling people dumb, but anyone supporting these stupid theories, they're either dumb or they're just grifters. I'm sorry. I don't care if the guy unfollows me or whatever. I'm listening to him and he's like, oh, it's Netanyahu because he said he wanted this to happen, which is really dumb because like that means Netanyahu has, the prime minister of Israel somehow has a secret army of Arabs that he can command. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And a lot of people here in America, I think they see this and they're like, yeah, let's go with it or let's not go with it. But these things have consequences. Like, you don't play those games when your enemy is 37 miles away and fully armed. But over here, they just throw it around like he should be arrested, everything like that. For what? There's no crimes being committed. The West Bank, read the Oslo Accords. Those things expired in 1999. The settler things that you see, what they don't show you is a lot of those they're tearing down those settlements because they're there illegally in something called Zone C in the West Bank, which is under Israeli control by the Oslo Accords, by the EU and the National Justice or the International Justice Court, whatever. That control of the 60% of the West Bank was part of the agreement that the very same people who are hacking on the Israelis created. And the settlements that you see, the illegal settlements by Arab Bedouins, they are being funded by Oxfam and the EU. And that's not from my hosts who, look, I assume anytime I have a host from the host country, they're going to try to propagandize me. I get that. Not all propaganda is bad. Not all propaganda is fake. But of course, these are things I know because this is what we research on this show is every little detail. But I don't think a lot of Americans realize the West Bank is 60% controlled legally by the Israelis. It's not like the Israelis are going into Arab lands and kicking them off. They're going into land, and if they don't have a permit to build something, you have to take it down. That's what's really going on in the West Bank. Conversely, on the Arab side being funded by EU and God knows globalists, who knows else, they're setting up these illegal structures. They're kind of forming a ring around Israel proper, if you will. And it's quite something to see, especially up front. Huge 5-story villas that are supposed to be refugee camps. Empty buildings built just to claim that territory inside land that is not technically anyone's at this point, if you believe what the EU says, but it's neither Palestinian land nor is it Israeli land, according to the Oslo Accords. And, coming back to some of these rumors about Netanyahu controlling the invasion, I'm sure it won't be long before the situation in Greece where Israelis are being targeted by Muslims and or Muslim supporters or Palestinian supporters. I'm sure that'll get blamed on Netanyahu too. It's really ridiculous, but it is reminiscent of the way the Nazis would blame everything on the Jews, or the Nazis would blame first everything on the communists, okay, and use that as an excuse to conduct horrific things against them. Back to Israel. What was some of the other things? Well, let's show some pictures. Why not? And by the way, hop in there on the comments. If I don't see your comments, I'm going to toggle over here to Rumble because not all of your comments come through on my streaming service. But let's take a peek here. Oh, good. It is running. Excellent. Okay, so let me just kind of mute me over there. Okay, great. There's some comments there. Okay, so what I want to do for this episode is make it quick. I just want to share some pictures, my arrival, everything for anyone who's never been there. I just kind of wanted you to get a look at Israel. I don't care if you love Israel. I don't care if you support Israel. But I think you should at least be equipped with knowing a place and knowing a people before you pass judgment on them. And I'm not telling you how to pass judgment. What I am saying is take a look at what's going on in Israel. Take a look at how they're creating, even after horrific attacks like October 7th. And then look at the other people. Look at the Palestinians. Look at the Arabs. Okay? Look at the Marxists that support them. Look at Mondami. They're destroying. One's creating, one's destroying. Okay? And yes, someone will counter and say, yeah, but Israel, shot missiles at them. Yeah, they're getting rid of people that shot missiles at them and also love killing Americans. And then they build things. And then the worst part is, and this drives me crazy about the Israelis, is there's so many medical facilities that they invite Gazans and, their enemies into to get free treatment. It's just, God bless them. But I'm like, man, you guys are way, like, seriously, I don't want to judge them, but I'm like, man, that's a lot. Talk about, that's not suicidal empathy. That's more like based on something called, I think it's called a mitzvah, where you have to do good deeds for people. And that's, again, the religion is tied into the culture, is tied into the government, is tied into the way the country is run. Like, for instance, you're not allowed by law to raise pork anywhere in Israel. I had no idea. First thing I did when I got home, I ate a lot of bacon. But the thing is, it's like, I respect that because people adhere to it and they're okay with it. And I got to say, they look like they're in a lot better shape than we are. So maybe it's not a bad idea. But anyways, let's show some pictures. Let's do a little. And forgive me, I've not edited these. I'm just going to show you, like, I have these broken into like day one and stuff. But let me see if I can get these on the screen. And again, what I hope you get out of this, if you've never been to Israel, is at least know what it looks like. At least know what I got out of it. Because again, I've never been a tourist there, so this was new to me. I've never been down to the Gaza area. It's just not where we went. I've never been to Tel Aviv before. I've just been to certain places where we trained Israeli soldiers a long time ago. But let's take a peek. Let me pull up. Let me go and pull up some of these here. All right. So I got to share a screen. There it is. Okay. Okay, give me a second. I'll keep talking as I figure this out in my mushy brain. Okay. All right. Okay, so I will just call these up. Okay, and there we go. I found them. All right, so like any good trip, it starts with a plane ride. So I'll show you my arm. And I hope if you're tuning into this for the first time, you're not saying, what is wrong with this guy? What's going on here? Or maybe you are, but this is how we do it here. We just kind of roll and share our thoughts, and your comments are great. And I do address, even if I don't address your comments on the show, I will address them. And in a lot of cases, just write to you. So let me get that window up here. There we go. Okay, so again, forgive the non-edited version of this, but okay, so I, of course, did what everyone did. I tried to take a shot at, oh no, actually I was bragging that I had a, let me go ahead and, okay, so it should be, let me try this again, sorry guys. All right. We're going to try this again. So we're going to share a window, share screen, share window, share entire screen. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. So by the way, never brag that you have like an entire aisle to yourself until the plane takes off, because shortly after this, of course, I got a seatmate, and so I did not have that for 12 straight hours. Okay, so going in, of course, there's the route. Now this is interesting here because this is getting off the plane in Tel Aviv, and then look at all of the American planes. This is what people were parking. There's one, but there's about 28 of them that we passed that are taking up a lot of real estate at the Tel Aviv airport. And hopefully I got those from the little bus thing here. You can see them all here. Okay, quick shot of the airport if you've never been there. Beautiful, by the way. Everything is really, really works. Like, works. And I love America. Don't worry, I'm not moving to Israel. But I was very impressed with, despite us only seeing the bad parts of Israel, we never see the good parts of Israel. So I like the way they've incorporated some ancient type of archaeology into their airport. Very cool. Okay, so I'm rolling here with Oren. He is my driver. And then I want to point something out to you here. So we're heading towards Jerusalem because that's where I stayed the first night. Okay. Now, when you get there... Okay, right here. Let me go back. Stop. Okay, so what do you notice about these signs? Remember, they're supposedly committing a genocide. What do you notice about these signs? They're in English, Hebrew, and Arabic. Okay, so if you take a close look here, it says Jerusalem, which basically I knew it as Al-Quds, which is down here. And then it says South Juabid, and then Jerusalem. But it's Hebrew, Arabic, and English. Kind of a weird thing for people who are supposedly trying to wipe out Arabs, to accommodate their road signs, just saying. Okay, and I've cut out the sound intentionally because I don't want to. I don't know what I said, so I don't. I was BSing the driver a lot, so we're having a good time. So you drive to Jerusalem, and as you can see, it's up here in the mountains. Now, my driver Oren, he very, very funny guy, but he was basically saying, what do you notice about Jerusalem? And I'm like so tired. I'm like, bro, I have no idea what you're talking about. This tunnel, go by that. Oh yeah, coming out of the tunnel, heading towards Jerusalem. Beautiful city, by the way. I've never been there before. Beautiful city. But what do you notice about Jerusalem? And I'll take any guesses in the comments. Okay. What do you notice here? This is right around the time he finally told me because I couldn't figure it out. Okay, again, streets are in Hebrew, Arabic, and English. Hotel room, which is nice. Yeah, I was actually impressed with the hotel room. Okay. Again, more of these signs. Okay, so here, I'll stop it here. There's a reason why I have that. Okay, we'll pause that there, but there's a reason I'm showing that. All right, so basically the rule in Jerusalem is any new structure has to be built using Jerusalem stone. It's a cool tradition. I like it. It keeps the city beautiful. Okay, so get to breakfast next morning. It's a nice hotel we're in. And what I noticed right away is and I've always known this, but I've never seen it so much, pretty much everyone's armed. Now, you have a lot of Arabs working in the food service industry. Their head chef is Arabic. I was talking to him. He's up here at the food line. I want you to see here, not shocking. I think it's good. But just watch the scene here. Okay, you see it? So here's a guy going about his day with his really wonderfully tricked out, assault rifle. And hanging out right near the Arab chef. Okay, and this is a scene everywhere. It's just not unusual. As you can see, he's not murdering the chef because he's Arab. He's not wiping him out. He's not cutting off his hair or anything like that. It's pretty typical scene to see this in throughout Israel. Okay, so extend this a little more. There we go. That looks better. All right, so we'll get to this in a second. Took a walk around Jerusalem. It's beautiful, super hot, but it's really cool to see all these things from the Bible. I'll just kind of click through these because they're kind of boring. I was just shooting video, and that's the old wall, hundreds, if not thousands of years old. That's going into the city. Okay. Now you can see here we're on the Jerusalem side, at the Jewish side of the city, and this is where women should cover their shoulders and just dress modestly, not wear bikinis and stuff. Nothing too orthodox here. Okay, and then you can see here again we're in the Jewish part of the city: Hebrew, Arabic, English. Okay, and then this here is the Jewish side, but we're getting into now we're in the Arabic side of shopping. So yeah, this is the Arabic side of the market, which is under the city. You can see they're selling everything, this typical street vendor stuff. This is interesting. These are kippahs sold by Arabs on the Arab side of the market. There's the Arab side and there's the Jewish side. They're not segregated, it's just the way it lands. But you can see these kippahs with Donald Trump saying fight, Lion of Judah, make America great again. Of course, they're catering to tourists, but the perception is that Donald Trump is universally popular, and he's definitely popular throughout Israel. And you see these are the best-selling items here, 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 and here. I found that really interesting. Okay, there's the dome. I was being a little dramatic. What was that? Okay. Oh, so this is the Wailing Wall. That white thing was the kippah that they hand out there. There it is. Pretty empty in the middle of the day, just because it was like pretty early. And this thing fills up, as you'll see. There's two sides, female, and a lot of you know this, but for those that don't, it's female side and a male side. So women go to one side, men go to the other side. And this is tradition. It's respected universally. Okay, some more of the city. This is I think they was it the Dome of the Mount? I'm not a geography guy, but this is like where the big Muslim mosque is. Here, up there is Mount of Olives, I think it's called. Okay, just really a breathtaking city. A lot of walking, though. I definitely got my miles and my steps in that day. Okay, but you know what you don't see here is, well, you barely see any crime. You're right near the West Bank here, by the way, in Jerusalem. Remember that Israel annexed the eastern side of the city, not too long ago in historical terms. And all of these things are very accessible. Lots of walking, neat place, and then more of these yarmulkes. And then there's all the places I walk. I think I got 2,700 miles that day, 27,000 miles that day. So that was just the walk through. The tour hadn't started yet, and again, the tour took us places I didn't even think we were going to go. But and we're going to cover more of these things as the week goes on. And as you'll see, as I went through this marvelous country, I was just blown away by the amount of unity I saw, even between left wing and right wing. The amount of unity was amazing. Like, it's Israel first, plain and simple. And they love America, but they're not waiting for America. They're constantly ready to rock. And, we got into some discussions about, some people in the group had asked, why is Israel so bad at the message? And they said, look, we spend most of our money on defense because there's constant attacks. Constant attacks. And they're so constant that people are used to them. That's the sad part. The bomb shelters are everywhere. They're in every hotel. It's called a safe area. And they're, basically, you go to the bottom floor of the like the subfloor of the hotel, and there's a safe area. And, the one in our hotel was pretty nice, but that's where you go for missiles coming in. And, a lot of these missiles come out of Gaza or Lebanon constantly, especially in Tel Aviv. You didn't see a lot of this in Jerusalem, but you definitely felt a lot of it in Tel Aviv. Like, first night I went to sleep, you could kind of hear the boom, 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 just constantly. And then I'm going to just give you a quick peek at the kibbutz. I won't play the sound, but you'll get a look at. This is the kibbutz I was at. It's called the Nir Oz kibbutz. Now, one thing about this kibbutz, most people there, even though they had firearms, were not really ready for this. A lot of these people, they're not like militant, hardcore, types. These kind of reminded me, the people that were there, just from other videos I saw. It's kind of like, not hippies, but like Northern California, like farmer types. Kind of a communal setting, kind of socialist in nature. Everything's shared, but it works down there. The only difference between them and socialism is you can leave with no penalty. But I do want to give you a walk through this because, and let's see what we have here. And I won't play the sound. We'll do that later this week, but let me share the screen. I just want to get a look at what we're looking at first. Okay. All right. So I'm going to mute the sound just because it's just bad sound. So, and just now, before I go too far, I want to show you that this kibbutz, their main thing was like growing like agriculture. and having birthday parties and big on the kids and all that. And so I don't have the map up, unfortunately, but that's okay. Let me see if I can pull it up. It doesn't matter. Basically, it's about 1.5 miles away from the Gaza border. So let's take a walk through it. So we're entering now. You can see some of the homes that are burnt out. They put up memorials of the people that died there. And a lot of the spray paint you see is kind of like from the search and rescue to show a home was searched and cleared. Okay, so we'll do the next one. If you see me speeding up, I'm just trying to respect my travel mates so I don't put their faces on. So you can see this is just devastated. Absolutely devastated. Most of these people, I'll play a video later this week that I found where they strung all their texts together. Most of these people, let me get through here. Just because I am, again, trying to respect people's privacy. And I'll edit those out later, but... Okay, here we go. So a lot of people who are morons, they're like, oh, this is a false flag, it didn't happen. Well, if it's a false flag and it didn't happen, this is the most committed false flag I've ever seen. It's the family that lived there. Okay, so here is going into one of the houses. Let me speed that up to... Okay, and you can see everything's riddled with bullet holes. I'm kind of speeding this up because, again, people's privacy, but... Now, what happened here in a lot of these safe rooms is they just lit the whole house on fire and doused it with gasoline. That's what you see all the burning there. Okay, now as you can see, this looks like any suburban neighborhood. Okay, you got your... And some of this construction stuff you see, they're actually rebuilding. Impressive, because I can't imagine wanting to go back, but they are just speeding through it here. Now, these are some of the people that fought back. They're, put up there like heroes. That's where they died. They do have things marked off because people do visit this. And let me see here. I want to show you this part here. Okay, so right there, if you look down that pathway, that's where the terrorists came in. and just devastated all these houses. There we go. Just the amount of just horrific destruction to this place is just unbelievable. And you can see everything's been set on fire, and they tried to burn everything down. They succeeded mostly. So most of this stuff has been left in place. It's been investigated, has been propped. They just kind of left things the way they are, and eventually these things will be removed. But because they need to preserve as much as they can, so that way the international courts don't say it didn't happen. That's why these things remain in place. And like anything, like any massacre against the Jewish people, they want people to remember, because these things can happen to anyone. These could happen in America if we get like some of those Texas migrant facilities. That's a car from someone that works there. But, you know, can you imagine if some of these Muslim centers go up, you know, in the middle of town, and they're housed with these people that conducted this attack? They could be attacking rural America, or suburban America for that matter. All right, so here, it's on the watchtowers. Now, over there in the distance, that's a map of the whole kibbutz. And don't worry, I'll edit these up and put them on, you know, so you can watch them. Okay, so here, this is the area that the terrorists came in. They came across this field. In the distance, there is Gaza. Okay, so came across a motorbike. It's about 6:30 in the morning, I believe. And we're sitting here having lunch, and this lady's, yeah, look at this. So that's Gaza right over there. It just came right through here. This is very similar to Northern California, if you've been out to wine country. Very huge tracts of land. Large, I mean, they're more patrolled now, obviously, but you could see where it wouldn't take much to just come across that field. And they're used to doing trade too. Like, there is trade, you know, and they do have Arab workers, or they had. I can imagine anyone that was up early that morning probably thought, okay, some kids on motorbikes or something. This lady here is out there all alone, like serving wine and all this. So, and she's staying there. Okay, so let me see if I got any more of these. That's my ugly face you're about to see. Yep, sorry about that. Don't know what that was. Okay, so we won't get into too much of this. I'm going to do this week. This is a survivor we went down further down the road to the Nova Fest. This is one of the survivors. He basically was saved by this man here. This is a Bedouin Arab that saved this guy's life because was running a farm. He had a bunch of Thai workers, and these kids ran up, and they're like, "Oh my God, let us in." I'll let you hear the whole story this week. And he didn't know who they were. So he finally, once they figured out, okay, these kids aren't terrorists, because this guy thought they were terrorists, and these kids like, no, we just need help, we need water. And this guy actually hid them, and the terrorists showed up at the farm demanding to be let in, and he wouldn't let them in. It's quite a tale to hear, like, firsthand. And then I guess I'll just let this roll on my walk through. Across the street, you can see where all these signs are where people were killed. So they put the signs. These are the orchard across the way. That was mainly field in 2023. They planted trees for the people who died, but their pictures are where they died. And again, I'm shooting this on a sport camera, so it's very bright. So it's not going to be the best picture, but it's really quite devastating when you see it in person. Okay, and then here. I'm going to try to compose myself here, but I dwelled on this one picture because it looked just like my daughter. Over here to the left, that's a bomb shelter. What they did is they dumped gasoline into the bomb shelters because people didn't know if it was a bombing or whatever. They're hiding in there, and they just lit it on fire. All right, so that was a peek at the Nova Festival. And I think we will probably call it a night. Let me just play one more from my Twitter feed. I hope you'll follow me there. But go to the, I'll post the Nova site on there, and we talked to some of the families of these people, the parents, you know, and it's just, yeah. Let me see here. And so that's, you know, that's what we got, you know, and it's horrible. I mean, just horrible. And I think the worst thing for me was that and walking through there and seeing kids that are my kids' age. But the biggest thing was as you're driving out of the site for miles, you could see more memorials at bus stops and in gullies and where people were hiding and maybe made it a mile up the road and were hunted down like dogs and then just shot on the side of the road. And not just Jews either, by the way. There were international musicians for this. This is kind of like they were trying to do their own Burning Man type of thing. They call it, you may have heard the term trans festival. It's not a like trans LGBTQ trans. Trans is a type of music. That's what they call it. It's the same thing we would call techno. It's a big thing over there, so, and that's what the trans festival is. So if you hear that, they're not talking about like LGBTQ stuff. What they're talking about is the type of music that they're playing. Damn it. And hopefully we're back here. Looks like we're coming back online. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. The internet is really crappy. All right. So I posted this a few days ago, and I'm just going to probably end the show on that. I'm a bit tired and quite emotional. It's just, you know, it's my dog when I came home. I'm glad they're killing a lot of these people that carry this out. These are the guys that kidnapped this girl and raped her. They're all dead. Good. Funny. It's the airport here. You can find these on my X feed. Prayer rooms for Muslims at the Ben Gurion airport. I said, apparently Israel is bad at genociding. Maybe they confuse the word with accommodating. It's actually a compliment to their humanity, in my opinion. Okay, so give me a second. Yeah, this is a scene here from that Nova Festival where they just shot all the people that were hiding in the toilets. It's Tel Aviv at night. Beautiful city. And we'll get there in just a second. Rupa, she was one of our people that went there with us. She shot the same videos. This asshole's dead, thank God. Follow this guy. This is Terrence Tendaye. He's from Nigeria. We're good friends. He's got the widest collection of a Jewish attire I've ever seen in my life. I found this video. I posted it. I think I got it from these guys. I reposted it. Where this is outside that kibbutz you saw me at, where you can find this stuff anywhere. Evidence of beheadings. What we were told by the people that brought us out there and the people that live there is that Hamas was paying for human heads. And so this guy's going around cutting off heads because he can sell them. This is where we were at. You can see my little dot there. I'd go to the site, check out their stories, especially if you have to talk some humanity into people that, talk so blatantly about, oh, this is false flag and all that. They're freaking morons. Okay, and I'll land this plane in a second, but... And there's more footage there. And this is a better view of those trees I was showing. So they planted trees, but this is across. These are the people that were trying to run. Okay, it looks like we're back. I keep having to reset the internet. I'll get that checked out. But yeah, so you see here, this is across the street. I shot this while those gentlemen were telling their story. But this goes on for hundreds of yards. And these are the people that are trying to flee into the field. It's about 6:30, 7:30 in the morning this all happened. And, the real big takeaway I got from this area is that it was fish in a barrel. I mean, they just came at them from all sides. These are unarmed, concert goers, mainly 18 to 30 years old. All right. So that's it, I think, for tonight. I just wanted to give you an overview of everything out there. I'll leave you on a more positive note. I will say this. What I appreciate about the Israelis, they had a mass murder of their civilians who did nothing to anyone. Okay? You may have seen some soldiers in those pictures. Everyone in Israel serves 2 years in the military, men and women. Okay, so in some cases the picture is that, but it's what I appreciate about the Israelis. They don't care if we support them going after Hamas or not. I mean, they're going after them no matter what. And I always say, if you're a parent, think about what you would do if someone did that to your kids. You wouldn't care if the police authorized it, or you would just go and get them and kill them. I hope you would, because that's what I would do. And so I'm done with all the bullshit about Candace Owens and all that nonsense, and the Israelis are trying to take over the world. That's just freaking 1917 Tsarist propaganda. Anyone that buys into that's a freaking idiot. A lot of Israelis are dual citizens with the United States. But the point is, I'm glad these are our allies. I'm glad people that don't raid concerts and rape everyone and kill everyone and cut their heads off for money. I don't want those people near me. I want to be allies with the people that bring justice to those families. I want to go after the people that, after the destruction, they rebuild. Okay, those are the allies I want. So if you're sitting home and you're listening to this now, or you know people that are always like, oh, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. It's not. I'm not going to humor it. I'm not going to say maybe it is. Maybe it's not. It's crazy Islamists. It's crazy Marxists. It's enemies of humanity. And the enemies of humanity are not the United States and the Israelis. It's people like Hamas. The PA, which used to be the PLO, Hezbollah, the Iranian regime, the CCP, okay, Maduro and his regime, the black wasps of Cuba, who are now terrorizing the streets of Venezuela. These are the people that destroy. And for the people that are cheering these people on, I hope they burn in hell. Americans are not, because they're cheering on enemies of humanity. Okay, and So I'm kind of like, this trip for me galvanized me in what I will and won't humor. What I won't humor is dumbasses who don't research anything and just say their stupid little opinions from the comfort of their Midwestern or Northeastern home or coastal town, whatever. I'm done with those people. If they stop my car, I'm going to shoot them. If they block me with a protest, I'm going to run them over. Because as we see, things are speeding up all around the world. And some people are just not humans. Okay, some people are demons. And some people just need to be eliminated. I'm glad our allies, our official allies, the Israelis, are eliminating those animals. And I hope all of us, you and me, when the time comes to defend our homes against the very same types of animals, whether they're American or foreign Islamists or American Marxists, we do the job right, and we do the job with prejudice. May they never even breathe again. Because we don't have any more time for the childish, stupid, provincial, ignorant attitudes that are dividing MAGA, that are dividing America first, and that are dividing America, period. We don't have time for that because while we're playing all those games, these enemies here want to do that to Americans. Not the Jews, not the Mossad, the freaking terrorists and the freaking Marxists. That's what they want to do, and they have a history of doing. You just saw it. So pick your side, I guess, is where we're at. Okay, if you want to pick the side of, oh, maybe this and maybe that, it's like, no, just, believe your eyes. Okay, go there yourself. There are a million organizations that will take you there, take you to all these sites, and other countries do this as well. Go there. Okay, do your research if you think you're being manipulated, but I've been to war. I've seen mass graves. I've been to many, many combat zones. That's what I did for a living for a long time. And I can tell you right now, these people are lock-stocked, and they are not going to just bend a knee to anyone. And we need to do the same thing. Enough of this BS, enough of the Mondamis and the DSA and the fringe right and the flat earthers and the isolationists. Enough of all of them. And the far left and the capitulating DNC. We need to tie ourselves to America. We need to defend it. And we need to get our balls back, okay? Because the world is moving and it's going to either run us over or we're going to push it back and put the world in order again. It's up to us, not just up to our president. It's up to each one of us. So, when your kids come home from school, think about them. Do you want them to be safe when they're going to a concert? Do you want them to be safe when they go to a concert in the middle of nowhere, in a farm area? Okay? Or do you want to be sitting on the internet doubting every single thing you see, okay, without even researching it? Research it, and if you find bullshit, of course, call it out. But just because some podcaster said this is what's happening, and just because some personality said this is what's happening, if you go with that blindly, you're nothing more than these ignorant terrorists. Because most of these towns, especially in the West Bank, they've got one stream of information. They can't even get the internet in a lot of these places. And it's pumped into their heads who's bad and who's good. We have no excuse. Be smart, which means you'll be righteous. And just be warriors. Like, enough of this nonsense. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of, waking up and every catastrophe is this country did it by some idiot bald morons with goatees who didn't even have the balls to fight against COVID mandates, but suddenly have an audience because they're racist anti-Semitics, or they're isolationists, or they're anti-everything. They're doomers, okay? Doomers, honestly, like, next convention I go to, any of these doomers I see, I'm punching square in the face. I might just beat the hell out of them because we're at war, plain and simple. And they just need to go. I'm sorry, but they're unwitting or witting enemies of the state. And I don't want us to have to live in a world where we get our breakfast at the buffet with our AR-15 because we don't know if every waiter in there is going to pull a fucking bomb vest on us, plain and simple. So I will say this, thank God for Israel, because you know what? All of our holiest sites, and the Muslim sites as well, and the Jewish sites would be gone. So I want to leave you with this video I made in my hotel room on iMovie. My last night, Shabbat, right before Shabbat happened, which happens every Friday at sunset. Just going in through the Arab side gate and walking through, and here's just a peek at that for you. I added the music. Hey, Donnie girl, how you doing? Aloha to you. But I added, and Dawn, I'm wrapping up, but I'm going to be back within a couple days, I promise. I'm really jet lagged, but I wanted to get something out tonight. And actually, before I play this last video, I do need to thank our sponsors, because without our sponsors, we wouldn't even have, the thing that I am transmitting on. Okay, so our first sponsor is the Wellness Company. We love the Wellness Company. We've been with them for a long time. And right now, Dr. Harvey Risch is looking at a lot of really interesting things with cancer and ivermectin and compounding existing drugs and repurposing them. Read the full story over there at dailyclouthealth.com, and also go to this special site set up for our Daily Clout company by the Wellness Company. Go to dailyclout.com, dailyclouthealth.com, and use code DailyClout to save up to $60 off shipping. And let me tell you something. Looking at those concert scenes, you Okay, I swear to God, if I have to reset this internet one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. But they do have everything at the Wellness Company. We have a lot of Lyme disease where I'm at. We have a lot of ticks. I have my emergency wellness kit. It's got my, doxycycline in there. Just so many things that you don't have to go to the doctor for. They'll prescribe them for you in bulk. You have it, you put it in your car, you carry it around with you everywhere. I have one of these kits everywhere I go. Well worth the money. Don't let, it might look expensive to you, but if you look at the price of these drugs individually, plus the doctor's visit, whether it's online or not, it's actually a great deal. You get everything you need for almost any emergency. So go to dailyclouthealth.com and use code DailyClout. Save up to $60 off plus free shipping, and check out all the work that their chief epidemiologist, Dr. Harvey Risch, a good friend of mine, is doing right now. You cannot go wrong. Always be prepared. Also, they have the Buffalo Organ pills over there, which I really, really like. That replaces my multivitamin. And our other sponsor is Augusta Gold. So again, like most gold companies, they're giving out a lot of free information. You definitely want to check this out. Things are about to get really volatile if they haven't already. Okay. By volatile, I mean, we have Greece getting attacked by terrorists looking for Israelis. That happened on the 28th. We have the thing going on in Spain and Morocco. We have France and Italy have shut their borders to Spain. The world is on fire. Okay. When that happens, things go volatile. One thing that stays steady is gold. We'll get through the storm, but when you get through the storm, you want to make sure you're not broke when you get there. That's why I love gold, and it's a great investment. It was in the thousands, like just a few years ago. Now it's over 4,000 an ounce. It's better than most stocks. We have a ton of gold. We've invested with other gold companies. We've reinvested with, we've switched everything to Augusta Gold, Naomi and I. You cannot go wrong. So go to dailycloutgold.com or text CLOUT to 35052 and request Augusta's free information kit. They're not going to spam you. They're not going to call you all the time. They're a great company. We love them very much. Great sponsors. We're proud to have them. So, and that's going to be it tonight. So let's summarize really quick. We talked about a lot of stuff. Let me make my face big again. We're going to go through a lot of this. Really want to get into the West Bank, what's going on over there. Spent a lot of time over there. It's kind of like unrestricted warfare, what's going on there. These illegal settlements in Zone C, which is controlled by the Israelis per the Oslo Accords. The Arabs are just setting up illegal shanty towns and kind of not moving, and then adding junkyards and polluting the water. It's insane. I saw it with my own eyes. It's people in Tel Aviv don't even know this is going on. It's really bad. We're going to talk about that later on this week. We're going to go deeper into the Nova Festival and the 27 different terrorist groups that were responsible for that, and the drugs that are on with it, supplied by some people that you might think are our allies. And no, I'm not talking about the Yeah, the internet sucks. Welcome to New York City. What can I say? It's communist internet. I think I get like so many bits a minute apparently. So anyways, yeah, check them out. Go to dailycloutgold.com or text CLOUT to 35052. You won't be sorry. It's free information. They're not going to spam you. Definitely pick it up and let them know we sent you. So, all right, guys, so what we learned tonight, we learned that basically, Israel's under a constant state of attack. I was floored by the amount of bomb shelters, more so than what I remember. And here's a really sad story. Really, I mean, I'm already emotionally drained just from re-seeing the videos and reliving, just walking through there. And I had it easy. I just had to walk through after the fact. God knows what those families are going through, even today. But Israel's under a constant state of attack. Every night I was in Tel Aviv, you could hear it. Like usually about midnight, distant bombs going off. Sounds kind of like clappy thunder. And the really sad story is that when you drive along the highway in any direction, but especially down there near Gaza, what they've done is they painted these roadside bomb shelters with flowers and animals and birds, and that's so the kids don't freak out. It's to calm the children that have to hide in there constantly, every day, sometimes every week, easily. And that's not where I want America to go. And I really have the highest respect for Israel for not only dealing with that, but continuing to make their world and their country awesome, and offering it to this day to those very same Arabs that attack them. There's so many Arabs using their medical facilities. I had some dipshit on Twitter the other day say, "Yo, that must be easy with us giving their free healthcare." Actually, we don't give any healthcare assistance to them. And the former ambassador from Israel, he was talking to us, and he made a good point. He said, look up how much it costs to maintain a U.S. aircraft carrier group close to the shores in the Mediterranean. Look that up and then ask yourself, is $3.8 billion in aid to Israel really that much? Because it's a lot cheaper than maintaining an aircraft carrier, and they're basically a land-based aircraft carrier. Plain and simple. I'm happy to be the $3.8 billion. Better than the $17.9 billion that we are still giving to Ukraine, and the $1.9 billion we're giving to freaking Egypt, who we get nothing from. See, the doomers won't focus on those because they're not getting paid to focus on those. it's my belief that all these people that are constantly attacking Israel, who literally actually returns on the investment, I think they're either being paid or they're just dumb trailer trash, sleeping with their sister, eating mayonnaise sandwich losers. That's what I think. And I'll tell any of them that to their face. I know a lot of them that used to. It's unbelievable, this internet. It only happens after 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what's going on. Maybe one of the audience can look into that. Anyways, FYI, my Don Girl account got nuked by X. Really? Huh. I'm sorry to hear that. Send me your new one. We'll definitely follow you. And anyone who was attending the show tonight, please, if you want, I'm going to have way more information, way more organized tonight. It's just that it's been like 2 weeks and I felt like I needed to get on the mic and talk to you. I have a lot of more articulate insights to share with you. But just, like I always say, investigate everything. That's why the show is called that. If someone says something, it's really easy. It's really easy. I mean, what's great is like Grok makes it easy. You can literally, if you don't know how to do this, I will show you. You just go here. Okay, and let's say you click on this one here. You see the little Grok symbol? Explain this post. Explain it. And it'll explain it, and then you could ask follow-on questions. Is this true? Is this happening? Did this happen? When did this happen? Don't if you get emotional and you don't research and you're reacting to something, pump the brakes. Don't become a dumbass. There's enough dumbasses out there. Sadly, a lot of them are on Rumble. People we used to call our friends and allies. They were never our allies. They're just grifters, losers, and ignorant idiots. Okay? All of them. Candace Owens, Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson. She's a freaking waste of space. Marxist loser. Her real name's Kim Rasher, by the way. She tried to hide that, but I found out. Married to a rich lawyer in LA. But all of them, they're not America first. They don't care about you. Candace doesn't care about you. You know that. None of these people, they just care about themselves. Look at this Liberty Lockdown dude. The thing pinned to his freaking profile is his YouTube award. What a sad, sad life that's the highlight of your life is your YouTube award. Give me a break. Me, I'd rather just get things done, fight the right people, and live with some clarity and transparency in my life, and hopefully we share it with each other. And I could go to sleep at night and say, hey, you know what? I don't have a giant podcast. I don't care. But if I'm showing one person how to do this right, that's good enough for me. That's all I care about. Again, this is not how I make my money. I do this for free, actually. It's my wife's site. She owns Daily Clout. I do this because I want to share everything I find out with you, whether that's through Substack, but mainly through video because I'm lazy when it comes to writing. And hopefully it's helpful. And I love all the stuff you share with me. Anyways, so I'm going to leave you guys on that. I'm going to play it out with my tweet I was talking about. Glad all these assholes are dead. What's going on here? Oh, jeez. Yeah. By the way, before I go there, that guy Max Blumenthal, call him out on all of his BS. That guy he actually was getting paid by the Syrian Socialist, Syrian Social Nationalist Party, which literally has a swastika for their symbol. And him, Kim Iverson, Jimmy Dore, they all receive money from the same organization. It's a long story, but this guy is an enemy of the state. This is Sidney Blumenthal's son. Sidney Blumenthal was the chief advisor to Hillary Clinton, also the guy who coined the phrase vast white right-wing conspiracy. This guy is no friend of the United States. I really hope they do something where he has to live in Iran for the rest of his life. I hate this guy. Seriously hate this guy. Also, he cares about every communist country in the world, and then he will try to pretend he cares about you. I'm just doing this for transparency. He's a freaking traitor. Okay, I'm going to go before I get like too saucy here. All right, but I want to leave you with this. You go to Jerusalem these days, whether you're going on the Arab side or the Jewish side, you're going to see something that I thought was beautiful. First of all, there is these two here. This is the he's Jewish. He's a Thai Israeli soldier. This is the security, Israeli security force in Jerusalem. And then this Bedouin here, because he's in the traditional garb, they're talking, and I kind of sidled up. I speak enough and know enough Arabic to know what they're talking about. He was actually, he's not showing papers. He has his phone up. He was actually bragging about this custom barbecue he built, and he was asking him for some barbecue recipes, the Arab and the Jew. I'm sure shortly thereafter he genocided him after he got the recipes, of course. Okay, and this picture tells a lot too. You have everyone just kind of doing their thing, Muslims, Arabs, and doesn't mean that's it everywhere, obviously. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. I'm seeing worse things from our own side, from people on the fringe right, and I'm just yet to see like any of these Muslim countries outside of like Dubai and the UAE do anything that doesn't result in people getting killed, raped, massacred, destroyed. Just I'm waiting for that to happen. I just haven't seen it. It's Loki. Go back to her again. Sorry, guys. But I just want to play my final video and end on a high note, because I was very moved to see that all of our religious artifacts and sites are preserved. And they're preserved because they're under Israeli control, not under Arab control. Arabs are iconoclasts. They destroy everything. Look what happened to everything. Like when Islam first erupted, they literally destroyed everything that came before it. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do to us. We're going to actually end with 2 videos here because I like this other one too. But we will do mine. Oh, and I got to show you this. I was at the airport the other night. I had to shoot this video. I had this behind a paywall, but it says, last night at Ben Gurion Airport, Tel Aviv, I witnessed an Israeli airport security officer terrorizing children and an Arab teen. The footage is shocking. They're playing soccer. Yep, horrible stuff. Terrible things going on at the airport. Get through these again. I just want to get back to my video here and leave you with that one. Great trip, though. I recommend it for anyone, man. Go to Israel. I've never been there as a tourist. I've only been there as training their soldiers. It's an awesome place. It really is. All right, so I'm going to leave you on this note. This is just last Friday. I shot all this video myself, and I just saw what I came out with. I find this really moving, regardless of what religion you are, if you're any religion. But there's an energy here, and it's shared by everyone there. Okay, it's shared by everyone there. But this takes us through the city to the Wailing Wall, and at the end of this, I'm going to call it a night. So good night, everyone. Dawny Girl, great to see you. Bill K, thanks for showing up. And all the rest of you I couldn't get to. That's a big crowd for this late at night, couple thousand. But yeah, I just thought I'd share this. I had a moment, so I thought I'd share it with you. I added the music underneath using GarageBand, but you could hear some of the beautiful music coming in. I don't know who was singing. It was gorgeous. It sounded like angels, but you'll hear it. So I'm going to leave you on this, and you guys have a great night. I will see you this week, if not tomorrow, the next night, because we're doing videos all week. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up, and I will talk to you soon.